Alright. We're going live. So, what's up? What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? This is definitely, and now welcome to our feature presentation. It's a Disney level shit. Let's get underway. How's it going, everybody? We are clearly, from the title, you guys know what we're waiting for. We are waiting for Shuumatsu no Valkyrie, chapter 46. Chapter drop. We are waiting for the chapter 46. Like, the title did not deceive you guys. I didn't put it in the title. Yeah, chapter 46, it's here. I did not deceive you. I did not deceive a single goddamn one of you. I told you right there in the title. It says live, waiting for. It's live. I'm live. We're waiting. We are waiting for what? Shuumatsu no Valkyrie chapter 46. That is what we are waiting for. So that is what we are here today. So yeah. I mean, yeah. We might not even get anywhere today. Honestly, it's almost 11 o'clock. And honestly, I just got finished doing a really long review for Dragon's Judgment 7 Deadly Sins episode 16. I just got done editing that video, which was late because we finally had a really nice day here in Nova Scotia, Canada. And I like to enjoy those days. I'm sorry. When we're in April and May, guys, trust me, when it's the mid-July and shit, don't worry. I don't mind coming inside. But I enjoy my sun. I'm a sun boy. Look at this Cuban fucking tan I'm got rocking here. So I love the sun. I love burning my face off. Hence why I got so many pimples and red skin all the time. I love the sun. So when we're in springtime here, I just want to enjoy the sun. I don't want to work on shit. So I was out all goddamn day, just chilling in the sun. Literally, just chilling in the sun. Nothing else. Not working on anything. And then I come in here and I was doing some videos, and then Viv told me, he said, well, guess what? Ragnarok might be dropping tonight. And I was like, might be? Can we get some accuracy on that? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay. So now we're into this. I don't really know what we're going to do from here. I really don't. So yeah. It's going to be a wonder. We're just going to basically sit back, wait. We're in lockdown right now in Nova Scotia, so I got to be up by 10 for a doctor's appointment over the phone, but other than that, I don't need to be awake, so, I'm good with drinking and talking as long as this takes, necessarily, unless it takes till 7 in the morning, then it's going to be well, yeah, fuck you, Dragon's Rage is in here and says, Yo, Dragon's Rage, what's up, man? I learned that you were black last stream. The more you know. Caden says, going to be good today. Hopefully. Dragon's Rage says, you know who I am betting on. I know. But let's hold out on this shit. Dragon's Rage also says, but do you praise the sun? Everybody should praise the goddamn sun. Caden said, we have a thunderstorm and a tornado warning down here in Texas. A thunderstorm and a tornado. Well, a thunderstorm's not really that dangerous when you consider it. All it's going to do is attack the nearest trees and nearest high points. Yeah, it could potentially cause a fire, I guess, but a thunderstorm warning is usually alright, you're going to lose power for a day. When we get a thunderstorm warning, I don't know about Texas, but when we get a thunderstorm warning up here, or rainfall warning and stuff, it's usually due to, potential flooding, potential power loss, and if you get it, you're alright, whatever. And then, that's what insurance is for. If people get flooded, that's what insurance is for. I know it sucks, nobody wants it to happen, but pay your insurance bills, and, at the end of the day, in a year from now, you're not going to care. One says, wait, chapter dropped? No, read the goddamn title. One, Read. Read for me. Waiting for chapter 46. We are waiting for chapter 46. We are waiting. In fact, I might open up the Discord a little bit to some calls for a bit. I think that'd be fun for a little bit. Just to keep it different. I might do that a little later. Yeah. Just to, like, if anybody wants to jump in and chat sort of idea, like, while we wait, because I'm going to be waiting here for a while. Like, I'm not going to, like, close it after an hour. Basically, I figure we got till about 1 a.m. After 1 a.m., if nothing really happens and there's no, like, end in sight, then, yeah. Dragon Trade says, hey, did you know if you get struck by lightning and survive, you get a cool lightning scar? Well, I actually know somebody who was struck by lightning and they have 0 scars. The more you know. Though I would love, if I got struck by lightning, I'd love to get like some badass scar. Like, I'd love a lightning bolt scar across my face naturally. Because then I could be like, yeah, it's not sexy, but guess what? It looks badass. I'd rather be badass than sexy. That's a fact. One said, don't want to read, too goddamn late for reading. Stop. Okay. One going like, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. I'm like, nah, fam. I'm here. I'm queer. I'm here for the long haul. And I am not queer. But it just rhymes and it sounds good. I really wish that I could say, I'm here, I'm queer, I'm ready to go, without people reading into the whole queer part. Like, used to be you could say that. You can't say that anymore. That bothers me. Only because it was a good rhyme. Don't mean anything behind it. Just, One said there was a guy that survived, I think, like 5 lightnings, and after he died of old age, a lightning struck his tombstone. Really? I don't know about that. I do know about a dude who won the lottery once and got struck by lightning twice, though. I have heard about that fella. Struck by lightning twice and also won the lottery. So, clearly, dude was lucky or unlucky as shit, depending on your definition. So yeah, I don't have a lot to talk about without getting me in trouble, so maybe I'll open up that Discord sooner rather than later. While we just wait for the Shuumatsu no Valkyrie chapter to drop, we can talk about it, we can share some thoughts, etc., etc. I have to edit that thing, though. One said, I think the guy was a park ranger or something. I could believe it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I haven't heard of that guy before. But potentially, yeah. So there you go. Guys, one is saying that there was a dude struck by lightning like 5 times. Goddamn. Once again, voltage burns, it does not kill. A lightning strike apparently holds 0. Well, what's the deal? It goes to ground, though. Yeah, because a lightning bolt's amperage. Because amperage is what kills a man. It's about 30,000 amps. But it's 300 million volts and 30,000 amps. Okay, so as an electrician, I can tell you right now, that could kill anybody. But people survive that shit. So, technically speaking, nobody has ever gotten struck by lightning. Technically speaking. They have been a conductor through it, potentially, but they've never actually been struck. Because if you get struck by 300, half an amp stops a human heart. So, what I just looked up tells me that you're dead. You're dead if you get hit with a lightning bolt, and you're in the air and there's no ground, you're dead. But the fact that you're standing on the ground, it dissipates to ground because ground is the least path of resistance based on Ohm's law, voltage, amperage, resistance. So it goes to the ground, it dissipates. But still, technically speaking, no one says ever that walked away ever got technically struck by lightning. Because if you're struck by lightning, you're either a barbecue or you're dead. Take your pick. One said, I think the heat of a lightning is like as hot as the surface of the sun or something like that. I believe it is hotter. Caden said there's a man from Wales who punched a shark to save his wife. I mean, impressive, and I can believe that over the lightning bolt. One said, wait, 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun? Potentially. Yeah. See, lightning is moving so fast that it generates heat. Like, lightning is moving faster than the sun moves, so the generation of heat alone would be incredible. That's why we rate breakers at 90 degrees Celsius, because the potential for heat inrush is incredible on power. Power alone, like, you guys don't understand, electricity is one of the most powerful forces that we have somehow contained. And to this day, I'm an electrician and I work on distributions. And let me tell you one thing. We could easily die tomorrow. Like, it is so easy to die as an electrician. You miss out one, like, oh, you trip, you're dead. It's so easy. Dragon Jade said, speaking of lightning, when I was first reading Record of Ragnarok, I was disappointed that Zeus didn't throw a single lightning bolt at Adam. I was disappointed too. Where the fuck was I can't say his name. Hepatitis, Hephaestus, whatever. The god that forged the lightning bolts that Zeus fucking throws. Like, goddamn, where was the lightning bolt? So I agree, Dragon Trades. Absolutely. That was one disappointment in that Adam fight. One said faster than sound. Yeah, absolutely. Miss says, hence why we have lightning and thunder. Miss Content is in there. Hey, Miss says he was lightning fast. They use it as a metaphor. I mean, but still, I would have liked a literal lightning bolt. That would have been cool. One said, and like, I think 1/3 of the speed of light or something like that. Yeah. And Misk's content is sort of ruined because they move beyond time. So, the whole lightning speed. One says, I mean, Zeus did say he was just going to use his fist. True. One said, yeah. You don't need to spell the name for me, man. I can't say it. Hephaestus. 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 See, I'm bad at that name. It's like how Americans don't know how to say scallop or tomato. Right? Or how to spell any word with the letter U. I can't say the Greek word Hephaestus. You know. So the Greeks can judge me, and I can judge the Americans. It's a wonderful circle of life with that. But the Smith, yeah. Ms. Khan said that would have been cool. Yeah, I agree. Tenryoto said, have you heard of a manhwa called Feng Sheng Ji? Nope. It's a Chinese story about human versus gods. No, I have not heard of it. Caden said, you talked about Hephaestus. Yes, I know. The one said, oh, beyond faster than that. Yeah, not beyond, but faster than that. Yeah. Miss Khan said it's pronounced like Hephaestus. Hephaestus? Seriously, is it that easy? It's Hephaestus? Am I saying that right, guys? Hephaestus. Is that correct? Because it seems like there's too many P's and T's and S's and that shit. I say Hephaestus. Says one. Yeah, see, I could see both pronunciations. I could see Hephaestus and Hephaestus. I could see both. I'm not sure. Are H's silent in Greek? I don't know, actually. H's are silent in Spanish. But Spanish is based on Latin. But Latin is not necessarily Greek. I don't know. I will need to look up the Greek definition first. Because I don't know how that's... Pythagoras. Pythagoras. It's not Pythagoras. It's Pythagoras. By Greek definition. So, but they pronounce the H. So, I don't know. Hephaestus was the god of fire and blacksmithing, says Caden. Yep. And one says yep. Some letters don't have sounds, says one. Yep. But I don't know which ones. In Greek, was the H silent at the beginning of a word? I'm not familiar enough with the Greek language. I can't tell you that. Tenryo said Shuumatsu, Heracles versus Heracles from Toriko. Who wins? Oh. Misk is in the chat, Tenryo. That's not fair. I can't say. I'm not allowed to say. Not allowed to say. Until Misk gets to the point that we are introduced to Heracles, then I'm not allowed to say that. I'm not allowed to say. I'll let Misk decide when he gets caught up to Toriko. One says, apparently the letter H is pronounced the same S in the English vocabulary. So it'd be S. So it'd be S. Like that. Sort of like you were saying, one, but not entirely. You have to add like an S upon the E. So it'd be more like asbestos. Or am I saying that right? No, not really, am I? Asbestos. Asbestos. You're still making the H sound though with that one. Asbestos. Anyway. I'm probably never going to get that right, and all the Greeks in the chat and who watch it later are going to be like, oh my god, this dude can't speak Greek, he sucks. So yeah, we're still waiting, guys, we're still waiting to see if the chapter drops. So sad. So sad. I'm going to... Let me see what I can do here. Okay. I'm going to somehow integrate people into Discord here. I know I'm playing with the settings, as you guys can see. I'm playing with the layout a little bit, but don't worry. I'll figure out something, and then we'll get everybody in the chat just so we can have a fun time. God, I'm exhausted. I've been up since 6, guys. How you guys doing? Waiting for this fucking shit. I could have, you know what? I could have ignored all this. I could have released the fucking 7 Deadly Sins reaction, which is like 30 minutes long because it was an Escanor episode, and you guys know how much I love Escanor. And I could have released that, and everybody would have been happy dandy. But then all of a sudden it was like, oh, the Valkyrie chapter might come out tonight. It's like, well, I'm not going to work, so I'm not going to miss that shit. So let's do this, right? So... Alright, so if I can fix all of this, I think I'm good to go. If I can somehow edit this so it's the exact same setup, and I think we're good. In the meantime, I'll answer the chat really quick. Apparently the letter H is pronounced the same as I said, blah, blah. One says, an example is hypnosis. Yeah, but I pronounced the he, so it'd be heptisis. Heptisis. It's still pronounced the H, so that's weird. Dragon's Rage said, have you read D. Gray Man? Yes, I have. One said, hate the hiatus on D. Gray Man, me too. Tenryo says, how well would Mortal Kombat characters fare against the gods in Rector Ragnarok, Volans or not? They would get their asses kicked, in my opinion. Like, listen, guys, I grew up in the 90s. I played the arcade games. Mortal Kombat characters can't hold a candle to the goddamn gods of fucking Record or Ragnarok. I don't know. Caden said, Dragon's Rage, said D-Gray is somewhat consistent now. A little bit, yeah. Caden said strongest to weakest, Meliodas, Escanor, Bond. Meliodas, Escanor, Bond. Though I'm hesitant to put Escanor lower than Meliodas. Bond is the weakest out of the three. That's a fact. I hesitate to do Meliodas over Escanor. God damn it. Yeah, okay. Meliodas over Escanor, but I still think that depending on the circumstances. Maybe the Supreme Gods can win considering they manipulate the laws, the concepts, and the verse of Mortal Kombat, says one. Potentially. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, I'm going to edit some shit here. What's this color? 00330. Okay. Let me just do a few things here, man. There we go, there we go. It's not that hard, it's not that hard. We gotta just do it those things. I mean, Fugazi, Fugazi, you know what I'm saying? Like, Fugazi, Fugazi, yeah? Let Donnie Brasco up in here, yeah? And then we just, we go here, and then we go, I have no idea what we do here. How do I fix this shit? 00330. Clearly that's not the color, so I have zero fucking idea. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna see what they do here, and then I'm gonna get back to you guys. Yeah. Color fill is... God damn it. This takes forever. Is that? What the hell? Put the brightness... Wait a minute. Brightness and contrast. God damn it, you piece of shit. Just do what I say. God damn it. 45.5. Okay. No. Alright. I'll try my best. Well, I don't believe that for a minute. That's a lot better. Jesus. I hate trying to make templates on the stream. And you guys can't even see what I'm doing, which is even more hilarious. Let's call this live Valk trial. That's what we'll call it. Sure. Somehow there's still people in here. Crazy. One says, I mean, after a little retcon they did on the Escanor Gaiden, Melios would basically beat Escanor on assault mode alone. Yeah, that Gaiden is full of plot holes though, so that doesn't count. Caden said, have you seen Invincible? Invincible what? Have I seen Invincible what? I don't know. Dragon Jade said, so Chad, how was your day? Dragon said, man, this is amazing. What masterful editing on screen we are witnessing. Exactly. You guys are witnessing the pure amazingness that is my editing skills on screen. It's amazing. It's fantastical. It'll let you breathe a hearth of greatness. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, and then we do this. And then we do this. And then we grab the... It's not fair to have the video, so... Can I control that? No, I probably can't. Can I have freedom? Transform. Fit to screen, maybe? And then... There we go. No. Still not fit to screen, is it? Nope. Let's try, what do we try next? Center the screen? Yeah. And then if we do this. No. That's not it either. Still gonna work on it. Stretch the screen. There we go. There we go. So if I do this. I mean, I'm not exactly horse-faced or anything, so I don't think so. So I think everything worked out with that one. But yeah, let's, wait a minute. I forgot one thing to add to this little repertoire. I'm hungry. I should eat. Thankfully I had peanuts. Wonder when that fucking chapter's gonna drop. So I seriously want that. Like, you guys have no idea. I forgot a little birdie. There we go. Yay. There, we changed the stream completely. That's fun, right? So Dragon Trade's already said, so Chad, how was your day? Also said, man, this is an amazing, masterful editing on screen we are witnessing. Caden said, Invincible is a new animated cinematic universe about heroes. No, I have not seen it, Caden. Caden said it's a lot more bloody than it sounds. I imagine it is, but no, I have not seen it, actually. Dragon Trade said, so that's why your door switches sides? It does? Scary. Do you mean like when I flip the camera? I don't do that normally, but yeah. Tenrio said, do you read the Dragon Ball Super manga? Yes, I do. One said, kind of tired of the hero stuff at this point, to be honest. Yeah, I get that. How about Peanut? Oh, god damn it. Turn rock and roll. Nobody wants to waste for good food. Plus, my floors are clean. I clean them every week. Pretty good. Deluxe mist nuts. Gotta try them. What could be a better commercial or ad revenue than that? Being like, mixed nuts. Try them. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, what could be a better advertisement than someone who cannot literally stop chewing? Like me. It means they're goddamn delicious. That's what it means. Dragon said, I feel like we are being pranked. You are. You just don't know it yet. One said, also, Godzilla's stomach Kong at 50% of his power. Absolutely. Because Godzilla's a pimp. Dragon Sword versus a giant monkey. Wins every time. Kaiden said I called BS on the 2 Dragon Balls that came out of nowhere. I don't. But you know why? Because then you'd have to call BS on the Namekian Dragon Balls. They didn't have to call BS on... Yeah, it just... Then you'd have to call BS on the Earth Dragon Balls and it'd just be a vicious cycle. Plus the Super Dragon Balls. Then the Black Star Dragon Balls. I got too many Dragon Balls to count at this point. At this point, you love it or you hate it. I'm good with the 2 Dragon Ball thing. It makes sense to me. Because, realistically... let me finish my penis. Okay, no, it sounds like penis. Guys, don't be children. So, let's be realistic about this. You're telling me that the Namekians invented Dragon Balls. Okay. That's their origin story. Fine, dandy. They have Dragon Balls. And that Kami was the only fucking person in the history of the Namekian race to go to another planet and make Dragon Balls? It actually makes more sense that there be another guy not as powerful making a weaker dragon on some bullshit planet. It makes total sense. It really does. like, you might not like it from a story narrative and the fact that it like, we didn't know about this in the Boo saga or the Cell saga or even as far as Dragon Ball Z, but the fact of the matter is that it is possible, it did happen, and from a narrative perspective, it's bad, but from a world building perspective, it makes total sense. Does that make sense? Like, so narratively, bad. World building, correct. That's the way I look at it. One said, also finished the third novel of Bleach. Not read a single novel of Bleach. Tenryo says, Granola's arc pacing is rather quick, but it's still a decent arc so far. I think so. Sod said, hey, I just came to say hey and have a great live stream. Thank you, Sod. Dragon's Rage says, so if Ichigo from Bleach was in One Piece, would he be a pirate, marine, or revolutionary, and why? He would be a revolutionary because he would fight against the power, but at the same time do it for his friends. Like, he couldn't be a marine, and he couldn't be a pirate. Because he couldn't be a good two-shoes, fighting for somebody he didn't believe in. And he couldn't be a pirate, because he wouldn't want to be a bad guy. And contrary to popular belief, Straw Hats are 1 in a million. Pirates are bad people. So there you go. One says, shit mad funny. The main villain making everyone piss themselves when he releases Ryatsu. Then we get basically them saying that he is dangerous. Playful Ichigo fought them was. More dangerous than the villain who was intended to kill them. Listen, we're not here to talk about Bleach. As far as I'm concerned, Bleach ended when Aizen was defeated. The 1,000-Year Blood War arc was good. Fullbringer never happened. And that's the way I look at it. At least I try to. So, in a second, I'm going to, now that we're like 40 minutes into the stream, I'm going to open up the chat. So anybody who wants to jump in VC will be able to do so. I will make sure that I open up the appropriate blah, blah, blah. Shit. Yeah, that stuff. So let me go take a bathroom break. I'll set that up and then I'll tell everyone when they are invited into the, into the stream. And then we can chat and we can talk. And if chapter 46 drops, great. I'll react to it. If not, then, well, is what it is, right? So I will be right back. Alright. So let me try to get the Discord shit going. Yeah. How do I do that? I forget how. Discord overlay. Yeah. Overlay. OBS, and then we do the voice widget. Yep. And then we go. What's the problem? If I jump in, will that change things? There we go. Okay. And I will add myself into this. Just give me a second, guys. I want to make it pretty for the stream anyways. Or at least try to. Grab this. Go C. So that's one browser. Where's the other browser? Add a browser. Add browser. Sure. V 315. And there we go. So, alright, we have Discord ability now, as far as I know. So, anybody who wants to also jump in is more than welcome to. If you don't, that's fine. I'm just still going to be here, and anybody who wants to jump in is feel free to do so. Since we're just waiting for a chapter anyways, you know. I'm going to be here for a couple hours, and then if there's no chapter, then there's no chapter. So say it. That being said, let's check what the chat said. More dangerous that the villain who was intended to kill him. Oh, I already read that. The one said elves are fire, though. I believe that. They explain all the things were left blank on the manga, including the motives of Aizen. I believe that. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not against. I am definitely not against the idea of the novels. I haven't read them. And Caden also said Luffy 100, Zoro 99, Sanji 97, Jinbei 96. No, my friend. Sanji 87, Jinbei 97. How's that? Jinbei has overtaken the Monster Trio as part of the Monster Trio. Sanji is weaker than Jinbei. That's just a fact. I don't see any other way around that. And that's basically the chat for right now. So how's everybody doing? Well then, we're still waiting on a lovely chapter 46, which potentially is going to drop tonight. Now, it's 11:36 p.m. for me, but I am on the East Coast, the farthest East Coast you can possibly be without being in the ocean. So, for me, it's potential that tonight might mean California time, which is 4 hours behind me, which would mean at 4 a.m. it's only 12 p.m. So there's a long number of hours that it could still drop. So we're going to try about 2 hours. 2 hours basically from when we started, or 2 hours from now-ish. And if there's no hindsight for a chapter dropping, then we're gonna end the stream. But yeah, that's my plan thus far. And one says, trying to see what level Soul King is at. I have no idea. Caden said, did you know grizzly bears and polar bears are starting to mate in the wild? Then that is dangerous as fuck, because you have the most dangerous Canadian bear versus the most dangerous American bear. That's creating disaster. I mean, did you know what Gohan and Trunks were capable of? And Dranger said, the more you know. Exactly. And we have Tenryo in here. Hey, Tenryo. Are you here?
Yes, yes I am.
Oh, hey. How you doing, man?
Doing just good. How about you?
I'm good. I have been drinking in the sun all fucking day, so I don't know if I am completely wasted or only semi-wasted. I am not sure yet. We're going to find out.
Well, as Humphrey Bogart in Casablanca says, you are reasonably sober.
I love the fact that you referenced Casablanca. That pulls at my heartstrings. It really does.
Of course I do. I'm a cinephile. I gotta mention it.
Yeah, you got to mention the classics. You know good movies, my friend. You do know good movies.
Yep, I watch everything. I watch foreign films. I watch independent films, classic films, blockbusters, everything, honestly.
I will tell you one thing that I am seriously lacking on. I think I've seen only like 1 to 2 independent films in my life. Like I only watched a couple that were on Netflix that were promoted as like independent, like indie films. Though I might have watched others that I didn't know were indie films, but as far as I'm aware, I've only watched like a handful at most. That is one thing that takes away from my history as being a, as you said, a cinephile sort of idea.
Yeah,
I'm very lacking in the independent market.
yeah, no worries, dude. I mean, that's just my specialty, honestly. I just love watching movies ever since I was a very little kid, going to the movies. And right now, I'm over 1,000 movies having watched. And yeah, I'm always on the lookout for smaller stuff and everything. I always have friends that they have like favorite movies or whatever that they've watched, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty obscure. Now I know about it. Now I can check it out. And yeah, I had to just mention Casablanca because, well, you just made a drunk reference, and well, I had to say it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know my classics. I'll give you that much. I do know my classics. So anytime you make a reference to a classic, I'll know it. I'll pick up on that shit. For sure, for sure. Um,
Honestly, the thing that's great about being a cinephile, someone who likes or enjoys so many different kinds of movies, is that, for example, if I complain about an elitist point of view on certain genres and whatever, I can actually call them out. They can't even say that, oh, you're just a casual. Of course you're saying that. No, I actually watch everything. I enjoy, like, for example, I can enjoy the Avengers movies, but I can also like It's a Wonderful Life. I can like 12 Angry Men and stuff like that. So you can't really say that I'm a mainstream, tasteless casual. Nope. I give everything a chance, and I
Preach,
encourage
preach.
others, and I encourage others to be like that too, because there's other kinds of cinema out there. So I don't agree with the mainstream people that only watch like mainstream films. But I also don't agree with the elitists who also say that, oh, only art house films matter. No, there's a place for everything.
Yep, absolutely. And it doesn't mean that one thing is necessarily better than the other.
Exactly.
You just
I
need
mean,
to be able to accept. And if you enjoy something, like, I'll put it this way: Christmas Eve, It's a Wonderful Life. Christmas Day,
absolutely.
Sound of Music. And fucking Easter, Ten Commandments. That's my family. That's what we do. We love those films. They are fantastic films. Nobody will ever tell me otherwise. But the
Excellent.
difference is I don't do it just for the tradition. I actually enjoy those films. But I can also sit down in the movie theater and watch Godzilla versus Kong. Like, you need
Excellent.
to be able to separate yourself from what is, like, they're both good in their own ways, but you have to remember you're separating yourself from over 100 years of cinema. Like, the way they made movies in the 30s is not the same now. Like, you have to recognize that. Like, and the fact that people try to compare, I don't know, like, you want to compare a movie from 2008 to 2013, you go right the fuck ahead. But you try to compare a movie from 2015 to 1955, get the fuck out of here. There's no way to compare that. The acting was different, the makeup was different, the way they made movies was different, the stop camera was different, everything was different, the special effects was different, the way they shot movies, the way they told stories. Everything was based off of a dramatic play up until 1971. So, and then they stopped doing dramatic plays after 1973. So, how can you compare a movie that had a totally different way of telling a story to a new movie? Like, I don't get people that try to compare. What do you think, Henry? Like, do you think that that's crazy, or do you think like viable?
Honestly, yeah, it's kind of complicated, honestly, because yeah, like you said, movies were made differently back then. For example, action movies back then in the 80s, they came in all shapes and forms, and they had their own identities. But action movies nowadays can kind of just blur together. For example, it can be hard to separate Fast and Furious with something like, I don't know, another Dwayne Johnson movie, or
Yeah.
like a Mission Impossible. But then you go back to the 80s and you're like RoboCop or Predator or Terminator, those movies are completely different.
Yeah.
Even though they're all action movies that were very violent and very manly back in the 80s, no, you cannot say that they were the same thing. They all tried to do something different.
I always
And
compare when people tell me that Daniel Craig is not a bad James Bond, which to me he is, and it's no fault on Daniel Craig's part. But I go interchange Matt Damon from the Bourne Identity series with Daniel Craig for James Bond. What's the difference? There's no fucking difference. Put Tom Cruise in there. No difference. Like, you made an action movie. James Bond was a spy movie, a campy spy movie, up until Pierce Brosnan. And then when Daniel Craig took over, it became, and it's not his fault, but it became it wasn't a spy movie anymore. It wasn't a campy movie anymore. It was an action, as you were describing, an action only film, which is interchangeable with everything that came out of the 2000s.
exactly. I mean, you look at something like Predator, for example. That's a movie that started like a typical action movie, but then it kind of becomes a slasher movie with a sci-fi slasher movie with horror elements, and then in like the last third, basically it's like a survival kind of movie. There's someone called the Critical Drinker on YouTube that actually pointed that out. That the movie can be divided into like three distinct components, and they all mix together extremely well. It doesn't feel like three movies into one, or that it has some kind of identity crisis that it doesn't know what it wants to be. No, like all the parts of the movie blend seamlessly together, and that's an example of a great 80s action movie because they they were inventive and creative. You look at something like RoboCop. That's like an idea that you would think is kind of stupid. Oh, it's just this police guy that just got killed and got resurrected as a cyborg. Sounds kind of dumb, but no, it's actually a very clever satire on capitalism and corporate corruption and stuff like that. A man
And they,
who
they and they
basically
did it. They did it 10 years prior with the $6 billion man or the $6 million man. Like, they did that show. They did the exact same idea. But the people and like, you look at shows like Quantum Leap. Like, there were things back then ahead of their time, and nobody appreciated them at the time. And now everything seems so generic and it's really frustrating. But to talk back to the chat for a minute, they said, Caden said, do you think that Yamato should have killed Aizen when he had the chance? Yeah, probably, because I believe that once again, Aizen feared him. He made there was only the potential for about 2 characters in the verse that could kill Aizen, and Yamato was one of them, and Aizen fucking knew it. So he prepared an Arrancar specifically to seal Ryujin Jaka to limit him because he knew that as far as I'm concerned, Aizen might not have seen his Bankai, but he knew what Ryujin Jaka could do in his Shikai. He assumed, as far as I'm aware, the way Aizen looked at it, and I haven't read the light novels, guys, so correct me if I'm wrong, but Aizen assumed that Yamato's Bankai could burn even him. And he went out and said, yeah, I'm not taking that fucking chance. And so he made sure to seal that. He thought he could take Yamamoto without Ryujin Jaka. Was he right? Was he wrong? That's up for debate. I still think it would have been a fair fight without the blowing up shit. But, and Dragon Tricks also said, do you watch bootleg films, Tenryo? Well, Tenryo, that's your question, my friend.
I have not. I have barely seen any bootleg films, honestly, because I just can't find them. And also, I rather watch stuff that's actually better, but still kind of garbage. Like, for example, I can actually watch the Emoji Movie, but a bootleg film, you're gonna have to convince me even harder to actually waste time on that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And Caden says the original Addams Family was amazing. Now, I mean, not wrong. Not wrong. The Addams Family, I would argue, is one of the most unique. I would argue unique. Not great, not bad, but unique. Addams Family was something a little special. Sort of like what Star Trek was in the 60s, you know what I mean? And one also says he knew his Bankai. Okay, fair enough. That's why he stayed. The only one that could beat him at the time was Yamaji before getting the Hogekyu. Oh, well, there you go. So he knew he was wary of his power. Then there you go. So he was like, oh, I know exactly what his Bankai is. Shit, I can't beat that shit. So he sealed it. Makes sense to me. I mean, from a storytelling perspective, that's exactly what Jujutsu Kaisen is all about. Let's seal fucking Gojo. You know?
Yeah,
That's like from episode 1 up until now, it's been let's get rid of Gojo. So, what were you saying, Tenryu?
yeah, that Jujutsu Kaisen is a lot more grounded in that regard. That even if a character is really broken, it's still not on the level of like something like Dragon Ball, where honestly, like an opponent can be superior to you in every single stat imaginable. So in Jujutsu Kaisen, the fights are a little more interesting because they're more based around how you use your abilities.
Yeah,
That's kind of
which is fine. Like I don't mind it. You know, like if you want to bring up abilities into a series, and as long as you utilize them properly, then I have no problem with that.
yeah. Sometimes I actually just like departing from the Dragon Ball formula and just focus on a series that actually focuses more on abilities and how you use them rather than just brute force. Because no, you know what? The Dragon Ball formula isn't necessarily like bad because even One Piece does it, and it's kind of a clever way to establish that okay, this character you cannot beat him under any circumstance at the level you are right now. Like for example, Luffy against Kaido at the beginning of Wano. It's not a matter of oh, Luffy is how I use your abilities that matters. No, Kaido is just superior to you in every stat imaginable. You have to find some other way to beat him by just getting stronger, just boosting up all your stats. So sometimes the Dragon Ball formula works because it makes it more difficult and more cathartic to defeat your opponent that way when you really have to just push yourself to much greater heights and
The
not just specialize in one area.
the problem is, honestly, and I'll go on a limb and say this, is that from a storytelling perspective, mangas work on an RPG format, and they always have. They have always worked on RPG. Our characters are level 1 to 10. They level up as we go through the story. And any story that does not do that, for example, something like The Legend of Zelda or Mario series, where you don't gain levels, where you're not an RPG, right? It's like, well, how did we get any stronger? Well, we got better at the game, right? Us, the player, we got better at the game. Sure, we got a better sword and a better shield, but we got better at the game as time went on. So we could fight stronger foes that could take more hits. But how do you see that progression without dulling down the audience in a storytelling perspective? In a video game, it's fine. But in a manga setting, in a story or in a book or a movie setting, how do you explain gaining that experience running through Hyrule Field all day, getting good at a game?
Yeah,
And so
Dragon Ball and
that's why they have the level up. That's why most mangas introduce a power level system, which I think is a flaw, and they should never introduce a power level system ever. But once they do, you're sort of screwed. But yeah.
one of the best franchises to handle a power level system, in quotations, is Digimon. Why? Because they have levels similar to something like Dragon Ball or Seven Deadly Sins or Bleach in terms of Shikai and Bankai, but they leave it vague by having the levels. They're ranked based on how much you grow, and then Digimon within those certain levels can vary immensely in strength. For example, a champion level Digimon is guaranteed to be able to beat any Digimon on the lower level. But in terms of ranking the champion level Digimon amongst themselves in power, it can vary immensely. You can have, like, for example, Greymon be able to be much stronger than Virgilmon, for example. So there's still room for interpretation or debate. For example, in something like Dragon Ball, at least back in the Saiyan and Namek arcs, if you have a higher number, you're basically stronger. So that's kind of boring. That's why they abandoned the power levels later on. But when it's something like Digimon, you basically being at a higher level means that you're stronger than anyone on the lower level. But within Digimon of the ballpark of a certain level, they can vary immensely in power. So that's actually really clever.
I agree with that. I agree with the Digimon power scaling was far easier because you knew your status. It was like, well, we got a Mega Digimon. We got a bunch of ultimates going against them. We know it's going to be a tough battle. So, and it was established even for us as kids, but long before power scaling became a thing, it was easy to understand that this is an ultimate, this is a champion, this is a mega. We got it. We understood. It was very easy power scaling. And then, as you said, within the class, you could then argue who was stronger within the class. But most of that became pretty irrelevant during the course of the story anyways. So, yeah, I mean, I agree with that completely. I think that Digimon did a fantastic job, and I'm like every single time that I write a short story or I write a manga idea, I try to get so far away from power levels because power levels, all they do is destroy. Like, One Piece also does a very good job, in my opinion, of power levels. It really does because it's like you know who the emperors are. You know who the conquerors are. The ones who have the conqueror's hockey are the ones who are going to change the world. And you know that even if they're weaker or stronger, you know that they have the potential to change the world. You already know who the powerhouses are, you know who they're going to surpass, and you know who's going to surpass them. It's almost like from chapter almost 100, you understand who is going to be the best in One Piece. And it's a really good power scaling because they don't tell you. And I hate people who use Admiral level, Yonko level, all this shit because it's trying to minimalize the generalization that Oda was going for. He wasn't trying to power scale, which is fantastic. The chat says one says he knew his Bankai, that's why he stayed the only one that could beat him. Oh, sorry, I already read that. One said there was only a few people Aizen did not want to fight until he got the Hogyaku, and Yamamoto was one of them, as we know. And Kisuke or Hara, I'm sure, was one of them. Dragon's Rage said, imagine if Aizen had a kid? Oh, that'd be so sad. That poor orphan. Dragon's Rage said, some characters start at level 100 looking at you, Medica from Medica Box. Right, exactly. Some characters start at 100, and that's the beauty. Medica Box was basically but the difference is, Dragon's Rage, as I'm sure you know after reading it, is that Medica Box was basically a fourth wall break manga. It was Shonen Jump. Unlike One Punch Man is a parody of shonen manga, Medica Box was what One Punch Man wants to be, which is basically a fourth wall break of shonen manga. It is looking at it from the reader's perspective. It's a fourth wall break. It's Deadpool reading shonen is what Medica Box is. So, and that makes it way better than One Punch Man. Dranger said power level systems aren't that bad. They're not bad, but they eventually fuck up. Seven Deadly Sins, Dragon Ball Z, etc. They always fuck up.
Yeah, I don't like numerical power systems. To me, they suck because they're less vague. It's way too obvious and not enough room for interpretation. But when it comes to like a class like Digimon, like we talked about, yeah, that works because you make it kind of obvious who's stronger than who. But when it comes to like certain characters in a ballpark or in a certain level, again, it's up for debate because not all of them are the same strength. They can vary. So, and I'm trying to think of another series that does this. Like maybe Bleach because of the captain level and vice captain level thing that captains are guaranteed to be stronger than every Shinigami below that rank, but within the captain world, they can vary in strength. For example, Byakuya is not as strong as Kyoraku, and Kumamura is not as strong as Kenpachi and stuff like that. There's still
yeah.
room for actual interesting debate.
Yeah, I would argue that Bleach is actually one of the better power systems because it has Lieutenant, Captain, Beyond Captain, sort of like you had the Vasto Lorde, which is like, oh, two captains take on a Vasto Lorde. So yeah, had the idea, but there wasn't a number behind it. Number power systems are one of the biggest problems I find whenever I read a series of any merit. Any single time you add, it's not about adding rank, it's about adding a number. Because if you put 10,000 in front of something, and then you say 10,001, it's like game over. So that's annoying. So Toriko actually does the number system quite decently, and I think it's the only example of a good number system. But outside of
I'm so
that,
glad you brought that.
what's that?
Actually, Toriko really handled them well, honestly, because even though the eight kings were like capture level 6,000 plus, they were still able to give
8,000
like
plus.
no, the eight kings were 6,000 plus. Akaza and
8,000.
Nia were above that.
8,000.
They were 6,000, dude. I know my Toriko.
No, but because what's his name became 10. God was 10,000,
Yes.
and then the other guys were below him by about 2,000, weren't they?
Let me
Bambi
see.
King was 6,100, and Horse King was 7,100 or something.
7,200. Yeah, 7,200 was the Horse King.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Okay,
highest
so
was
around anyway. Point is that they were stupid, but the point is that the power levels worked in Toriko up until the end as far as that went. But either way, that they at least they did the number game good, but at the same time, number games aren't exactly the best way to do a power system.
nope, absolutely. They
So, um, because Dragon's Rage even said power level systems aren't that bad, and no, they're not. Power level systems aren't that bad, but power level systems with a number are bad, I would argue. Caden says sometimes if you have too many overpowered characters, that gets boring. Absolutely. Dragon's Rage says if you have a lot of overpowered characters in a story, is anybody really overpowered? Think about it. I mean, yeah, no. I mean, I could name, like, once again, in Toriko, there are at least a dozen overpowered characters. That doesn't break the power system, though. Or in Bleach, I could name half a dozen overpowered characters. Does that break the power system? No. So, uh, I don't know, Dragon's Rage. I don't see as having overpowered characters doesn't break the system. You just need to have a good system to begin with. And Caden said, what if the overpowered characters are all on one side and then the story just gets boring because no one wants to fight them? Well, then you have just a boring fucking story. Uh,
basically
what's that?
basically you get Dragon Ball Super, where basically you wonder how are they supposed to feel tension for Goku and Vegeta and company if they have Beerus and Whis on their side, and Beerus's power level constantly fluctuates because they constantly hype up other characters like Jiren and Broly that oh they could be stronger than Beerus, but no, then later on Beerus is apparently still stronger than Goku and Vegeta, and that sucks because Beerus doesn't do anything to earn that high level of power. He should have been surpassed ever since the Tournament of Power, to be 100% honest.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. But remember, in this arc, Vegeta is learning how to become a god of destruction on his own merit. So there is that. But that being said, I do still agree with you. It's like, what really, like, what threat? Like, I feel bad. You know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for Toriyama. This fucking dude didn't even want to do Dragon Ball Z. And now it's 35 fucking years later and he's still writing Dragon Ball. Poor bastard. Like,
Yeah, he
he's
doesn't even
writing
remember.
it for the money. Or he's writing it because people are begging him to. When I don't think at this point people say he did it for the money, and I feel bad for saying that because I don't even think he's doing it for the money. I'm pretty sure this dude's set. He's doing it because people want him to write it.
Yeah, they won't leave the poor guy alone, honestly. People always act like, oh, if Toriyama's involved in this project, it's gonna be instant gold. And I'm like, no, he wrote stuff like the Boo arc, which, okay, it isn't the worst arc ever, but it's still kind of written very shoddily. So
Actually,
Toriyama,
I love the Boo arc, but I know that he wrote it with like no passion.
like,
But
yeah, the Boo arc has a lot of enjoyable moments, but let's just be honest here, people. That arc had so many fuck ups. So you can clearly tell that Toriyama is capable of screwing up, but he can be creative at screwing up, honestly. For example, he designed Super Saiyan. Why? Because he was too lazy to draw Goku's black hair with ink. That's literally the reason he gave.
well, yeah, he did say he said when he well I'll correct you on the quote. He said when he drew his transformation, he wanted his hair to be lighter colored because he was tired of drawing it in ink. So
Exactly.
he wanted Super Saiyan to be. He originally apparently envisioned it as white hair, and then that's why he drew it with no color. And then all of a sudden it was like gold hair. It's like, all right.
Yeah, basically the most iconic transformation in anime history happened because of laziness. Only Toriyama can pull it off. Only Toriyama.
But to be fair, he already had the transformation in mind, and he did do it. Like, he still made the spiky hair and still drew the concept. So, I mean, we could, you could chalk it up to that, but at the same time, I mean, look at Sailor Moon, one of the most iconic, once again, transformations of all time. It's a high school Japanese girl outfit. Like it's nothing special. She
Pretty
transforms
much.
into a high school girl. Fantastic. But they
Yeah,
made it amazing.
sometimes simple can be good, honestly. You don't always need to have like an over the top transformation in terms of design to be good. Like, look at Ichigo's first Bankai. It's so simple, yet it's really, really fucking cool. Or Gear
Exactly.
4.
And people, my problem is that people get like up in arms nowadays. It's like if you don't have a super badass transformation, then it's like, oh, you're shit. But if you copy somebody else, hair changes, clothing changes, anything like that, now you're shit. It's annoying.
Yeah, the thing is that Dragon Ball works better with simple transformations, at least for the heroes. When it comes to the villains, they tend to be a little more detailed and designed. Like, for example, Cell, you could argue that he gets a little more complex with every transformation, whereas Frieza gets a little more simple with his true form. And that's actually that's a good example of a clever subversion. People think that he's gonna turn into something more horrific than his third form when he transforms into like his final form, but it's actually the opposite. He's actually smaller and he actually has a cleaner design. And you know what? It actually really works. So Toriyama really was clever when it came to Frieza's forms, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, remember, at that point, he was also trying to end Dragon Ball Z, and he wanted Frieza, Goku dead, Frieza the final villain.
And then he came up with Cell, and then he came up with Boo.
Yeah,
So,
he came up with Boo by looking bubblegum on the wall. So,
but
which
let's
is
be honest, Majin
hilarious.
Buu yeah, Majin Buu was a great idea because it fits Toriyama's style so perfectly. People need to remember that Dragon Ball it isn't always a try hard badass series. It's also really goofy. It's the same reason why I like, for example, Big Mom and Concept from One Piece. She's not supposed to be badass like all the other pirates. She's supposed to be goofy because, well, that's the spirit of One Piece. It's cartoonish, it's whimsical, and it works just fine.
Exactly, and some people don't get that, and that's sort of sad. Um, let's see what the chat is saying. Let's see. What if our power characters are blah blah blah? One said one of them was Kenpachi because he knew the true potential of Kenpachi. Well, I mean, Aizen should be scared. Everybody, I mean, if Yuha was scared of Kenpachi, then everybody should be scared of Kenpachi. I'm scared of Kenpachi. So, Caden said, how do you think the fight between Aokiji and Akainu actually went? I think, alright, so I think Aokiji actually probably, I think they actually reached a stalemate to the point, I think there's more to that story. I don't think Akainu actually won V1 Aokiji. I really don't. I think that at some point they put on the show and then either one of them had the other one at whatever, wits end or whatever, but Aokiji ended up becoming like a secret ops agent into the Blackbeard Pirates for a reason. So I don't know. I just don't see it. I think that Aokiji's still working for Garp and Sengoku, not Akainu, but I don't see him like losing legitimately straight up. I don't see it. Some people I talked to said I kind of dominated the fight, but I call BS. Dominated the fight. A 10-day fight. How do you dominate if the fight goes on for 10 days?
Exactly.
I don't get that. Oh, I dominated the fight. Well, then why did it take you 10 days to beat a guy? Like, that's like saying, that'd be like Rocky going, I beat the shit out of Apollo Creed. Yeah, how many rounds did it take you? All 10. Well, then how did you beat the shit out of him? Well, I won the fight. It's like, yeah, but like dominating would be kicking the shit out of him in 2 rounds. He took you all the way. So what the fuck? Like, yeah, no, that's bullshit. Caden, tell your friends or whoever you're talking to, they're full of shit. One said second seat, third seat, etc. Don't know what's that in reference to, but sure. Dragon's Rage said, actually, Toriyama pretty much just writes vague notes, and Toye and Toyotaro, who does Dragon Ball Super, pretty much comes up with a story based on those vague notes. Oh, so Dragon Ball Super isn't written by Toriyama anymore? Or was it ever? Didn't know that.
No, it wasn't actually written by Toriyama. He just gives outlines and vague plot points for them to expand the plot. But yeah, Toriyama doesn't actually write Super. He's just like a supervisor or whatever. Toyotaro is the one that draws the Super manga, and Toei just has a bunch of different writers, which is why it can seem very clumsily written at a lot of points. Like for example, in one episode, Vegeta, he did the final explosion, and then they say that oh, he survived because his body got stronger, but the technique is supposed to get stronger, and they say that he's too tired to fight or use like Super Saiyan Blue and whatever. And the next episode, he does just that. He uses Super Saiyan Blue, and no one points out how he's capable of doing this. And yeah,
Weird.
the super enemy was all over the place, honestly.
I agree with that. One said, well, not really scared, more of a, if he is against us, it would be annoying, troublesome. Fair enough. And he also says, manga is its own thing, then you have the anime, which is its own thing, and that's fair. That's with almost every goddamn series, I find. Every single series is going to have that whole, oh, it's manga, it's anime, it's this, it's that. And it's like you have your own, like there's going to be a canon for this, a canon for that, whatever. It's not like they're forcing Toriyama at gunpoint to do it, says Dragon's Rage. No, I'm not saying that either, but like if I was listen, Dragon's Rage. If I had written Dragon Ball and I was like, okay, that was my story, now I want to move on to the next thing, and they were like, hey, we'll give you $1 million to write more Dragon Ball, I'd be like, okay, sure. Can I see the million up front? And then you write Dragon Ball Z. And then they go, hey, advise on Dragon Ball GT for $500,000. It's like, well, $500,000 sounds pretty good. I'll take that. Like, sorry, who wouldn't do that in that situation? Look, if I wrote a shit story right now, like if I literally produced a story right now, posted to the internet tonight in 1 hour, and I knew it was shit. If I wrote the next Harry Potter book 1 or Twilight or whatever, and I wrote that shit, and I was like, I don't even like this story. I think it's pretty bullshit. I think it's pretty B grade. And people ate it the fuck up. And I made $1 zillion on it. You don't think I'd write book fucking 2? Like, seriously. Let's not talk about integrity of writers when there's money involved. When there's enough money involved, like, I want to have enough money to give my family and stuff like that. I'm never going to say, okay, my first book, like if book number one was Twilight, for example, I'm not ever going to say, like, oh yeah, I had such dynamic about the characters, blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. I would go on Ellen or Oprah and I would say, or Dr. Phil, and I'd say, yeah, this book was shit. I wrote it in my dream. It was a shit book. But people loved it, blah, blah, blah. I would never be dishonest about where the book came from. But at the same time, once again, there are YouTubers that I've seen on here with like 2.5 million subscribers. Their videos are shit. I hate them. There's no good merit in their videos. They make more money than me. Why should they? That's dumb. It's the same thing that when you see an author of a book series that you don't get. It's the same idea. Or a movie series you don't get. It's the same idea. So Toriyama is doing no less than absolutely what every single one of us would do. Someone says, hey, I will provide for you and your family for the next 25 years if you just write a little more Dragon Ball. You're going to write a little more Vegeta and Goku? Yeah, you fucking are. I would do it. I would write more Edward and Bella. I'd write more Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, and Hermione Granger. I'd write more, I'd write anything. If I knew that I could secure my financial security for my parents, especially in this day and age, for my parents, for my wife, for my future children, you got to think about Toriyama and his expenses and his longevity and his family. You got to think about that. So that's my only thought. Is that you got to think about that. Because apparently mangakas do not actually get paid that well. Even super successful ones. Like Kubo and Oda and stuff. Like Oda gets paid pretty well and Toriyama gets paid pretty well apparently. But like guys like Kubo and stuff, they did not. And Kishimoto and stuff, they're not millionaires, guys. So apparently they're not. So I'm just sitting back going, well, that sucks. Because you write a book here in North America, you're a zillionaire. You make a best-selling manga, you might have a roof over your head. That being said, one says, well, not really scared, but more of he is a. I already read that. One said it was kind of like the Burrito, I assume Boruto manga. Kishimoto was not doing it till recently. Yeah, a little bit. Same idea. One said, which he is using an opportunity to put stuff from his Axe manga Samurai 8 into Naruto. Yeah, which Boruto was crap, Samurai 8 was crap, Naruto at the end was crap, so. Well, I mean, fuck Kishimoto. He couldn't write to begin with, so. Like cyborgs and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, I hated everything that Boruto and Samurai 8 was. Samurai 8 was stolen from Samurai 7. Just so everybody's clear, anybody who's listening, Samurai 7 was Cyborg Samurais. Kishimoto stole that idea from Samurai 7. Go watch the anime. Go read the series. Go check the book, the movie, the manga. There is a million adaptations of that. And Kishimoto stole it. And then tried to make something called Samurai 8. And then he failed.
I read like the first 10 chapters of Samurai 8 and I just really didn't like it. Too much exposition in the beginning and the artwork was kind of hard to follow because of how cluttered the panels were and it just wasn't very engaging. So there's that, and then Shimabukuro came back with Build King and that wasn't good either. Like, for let's just say this, Kubo is lucky. He came back with Burn the Witch. It's a decent manga, and he can do it seasonally. He doesn't have to do it like continuously. He can do it at his own pace. So hey, let's give Kubo credit where he deserves it. Burn the Witch is actually a good success because the other two veteran manga that came back recently, they just couldn't do it. Build King was literally just Toriko, but with carpentry. I'm not even exaggerating. I read all of Build King. It was axed, and I can confirm that it was just Toriko all over again. If I want to read Toriko, I can just go read Toriko. I want to read something else from a different series. That's all I gotta say.
That's right.
Like, honestly, and then people complain when these veteran manga don't get the chance that they deserve or something. Like, I remember for Neverworld talking about how, oh my god, Samurai 8 was canceled. How dare they? And he's simping for that series. And I'm like, for Neverworld, you just don't have any standards, honestly. Everything is great to you for some reason or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
this guy,
Samurai 8, I made a video on it. It got so much hate. And then the series got canceled like 3 months later. And I was so happy because I was like, clearly I was right, guys. So, I mean, it was sort of like this series was shit from the beginning and nobody saw it. And I saw it. And it was like, all right. And I mean,
like,
well, like one even says like cyborgs and stuff like that, adding in cyborgs and stuff like that. Still waiting for that. And one even says right here, still waiting for the Winds of Winters from George. Oh, this isn't related, but still waiting for the Winds of Winters from George R. Martin. Yeah, you're gonna be waiting a while for that shit. Caden said it would have been cool to have Bruce Lee in the tournament. I would have liked to have Bruce Lee in the tournament. That'd be cool. Dragon's Rage said I'll be gone for a bit. Okay, Dragon's Rage, you take care, my friend. One said then we got the novels. Yes, we did. Caden said, have you ever watched Human Centipede? Yes, I have. Disgusting movie. One said, funny thing is that Burn the Witch, like in 3 days, outsold all of Samurai 8. I don't, I mean, sure, why not? Burn the Witch is literally like, it's not even that good. But it's Kubo, and it's better art style than Kishimoto could ever draw. And, I mean, art style alone makes me want to buy it.
yeah,
So,
that's one thing I have to say about the big three, that Bleach and One Piece have very distinct and cool art styles that made them stand out. And I hate to say it because I do respect Kishimoto because I grew up with his work and stuff like that. But Kishimoto's art style is the least distinct. And in terms of like tone and feel, Naruto was the least distinct out of the three because Bleach was like the coolest. It had the cool factor by like 100, and One Piece was like the goofy one, but it was goofy in a good way, in a badass way. Naruto was like the most normal. It was just trying to do it like its own thing. It didn't wasn't really too cool. It wasn't too wacky. It was like somewhere in between. That's the one thing that I'm not really fond of for a member of like the big three. You would expect it to have like a bit more of an identity. And the art style is something you can confuse for a lot of other series. When I look at Kubo's art style or One Piece's art style, I'm like, yep, that's Oda, that's Kubo. But when it comes to like Kishimoto, it's like, oh, it can be confused with another series. And I hate to say that because I like giving credit where it's due, but that's not one of his strongest points. His art style could have been a little bit more different.
yeah, I agree. One of the things I didn't like about Naruto was the art style. I felt it was very bland, and I would never want a manga that I wrote to be drawn in that style. That's for sure. One says, funny thing is that Brendan Mitchell already read that. One says it also carries the name of Bleach, Western branch of the Soul Society, which I mean, huge hype right there. Like nobody cared when Boruto was a thing, but everybody cared when it was like, hey, another Bleach. Okay, we're invested. Like, people gave a shit when Bleach 2.0 was coming to the mix. Nobody gave a shit when Naruto 2.0, Boruto, nobody gave a shit. And nobody still cares. I don't know how they made an anime of that. I don't know how the manga has continued. Who the fuck is actually reading Boruto?
I'll tell you, for Neverworld, because he has to be the one to hype up this garbage. Like, I don't know how that guy does it. Even Chibi Reviews doesn't give a shit about Boruto. So why does For
I don't
Neverworld?
like Chibi actually. I don't like him at all. He's a
Yeah,
whiny little
honestly.
bitch. He really is. He's a chibi. He's a whiny bitch.
He literally at one point he called himself a 21-year-old kid. Like, you're an adult and you call yourself a kid. How can anyone respect you, dude? Like, for Neverworld and Chibi are literally like bottom of the barrel when it comes to YouTube content creators, when it comes to anime. I don't understand how these guys maintain such huge fan bases. Honestly,
I
they
don't
just
know either.
they exist just to confirm the valid, just for confirmation bias, just to tell people what they want to hear about their favorite stuff.
Uh,
Hey, I love Attack on Titan. Chibi is hyping up Attack on Titan. I love My Hero Academia. Chibi is hyping it up. Hey, I love Boruto. No one's hyping it up, but for Neverworld is, I gotta go to his channel so he can tell me what I want to hear. It's fucking pathetic, man. I
Dude,
like
I was like on my old channel even. I was hyping up Seven Deadly Sins years ago now. Years ago. And I was pissed when I thought, like, once again, you can rate another reviewer against another reviewer, and it's sort of hard. Like, you got guys like, for example, King of Lightning, Teching, Roger Space, Joybot. They all have their own individual styles, but they're solid reviewers. When you got guys like Chibi, and then you got guys like me doing a better, in no uncertain terms, like physically, mentally, better quality video camera and everything, showcasing a better, more concrete, more coherent video review week after week. Why the fuck were my videos only having 500 views and his was getting 5,000? I could not understand it. I was
you want
and
you want
I'm not
to
trying to be vain or anything here, but I'm like, not only am I better looking than the guy, like even when I have rosacea on my face, like not only am I better looking than the guy, the dude is a man child. But not only that, but the fact of the matter is that I have better topics. He talks to his characters like they're his goddamn waifus. He's all, my boy Escanor. He is just the greatest thing that I ever fucking. And I'm like, okay, I understand. You're a southern mom that wants to cuddle Escanor. I get it, but can we move on? Like, chat him up, but don't want to stroke him off. Like, everything he said was cringy, and it was just like, I just didn't get it. And then I was like, well, I'll try to get my reviews out faster, blah, blah, blah. Nothing mattered. Nothing changed.
By the way, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Where
welcome.
when was your first review of Seven Deadly Sins?
Uh, Probably chapter 100 and...
No,
I don't know.
I mean the year.
Oh, Christ. I don't know, man. 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
Oh,
Long time ago now. 5, 6, 7, something like that. I started this channel, let me say.
well,
Uh,
the previous channel.
the previous channel, I will not have that information. I assume, let's see, probably around 2013, 2014. Let's use that as a ballpark.
Yeah, 2014.
Sure. So,
So so it seems like you two started covering the manga around the same time.
yeah.
Yeah, and then he eventually stopped. Chibi eventually stopped covering the manga because that's what he does. He always drops a series out of nowhere.
He dropped
I
it.
think
Let me see. I think like two 280, 290 or something like that. I think he said because after 300, you know how things. So I think that's what the point where he dropped it.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, I was following the series from before chapter 200 up until it was late. It was late. It was close to chapter 200, like 198, 199, something like that. All the way up to the end of the series. But that was across two channels. So.
Let me see the other. Uh, 30 of March 2014, chapter 1. Although he did skip from chapter 1 to chapter like 70 something.
Well, there you go. So it's probably, 2014, 2015. Let's see. Uh, Dragon's Rage said. I am back. Is the chapter out yet? No, unfortunately, it is not, and we're still sitting here. I'm still drunk, and the thing's still loaded. Stream's still loaded. I wish I was
Man,
drunk, actually. It'd be nice.
I need that chapter so bad.
I need that
I mean,
chapter too, because then I can drink and go to bed. Like, I'm
I mean, I,
still.
I already see some very, very nice things.
You checking those raws again, my bitch?
Not the rest. There are a few pages that are translated.
Yeah, I get you. Caden says, Chubby became, Chubby? Are you getting my hentai tags mixed up in this? What the fuck? Became popular around that time because he was reviewing Overlord and some other series, giving them really high prices. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, once again, it's like anything else. Like, I know that for no matter what I get into, I'm never gonna hit that big thing. Like Mist,
I mean,
he did it. Which is fantastic for Mist. Like that man, he jumped on the Jujutsu Kaisen bandwagon and he rolled with it, and it worked so quickly. Good on him. Like, and I jump on that a little too late. I jumped on what was the other one? Like, I was here for Record Ragnar from the get go, but I mean, just not popular enough. But you get that one video. All it takes is that one tag, that one video you set, and then boom, you're off to the races. Never found that yet. One day maybe, maybe not. Whatever.
I mean, you also have to have in mind that that time there was not really a lot of people doing anime reviews and talking about anime at the time too. It wasn't really that popular, but at that time, like at this mainstream that it is now.
True, but you would think that that would mean that I would be like sort of a cornerstone of the market then.
It's time. I finally sit down.
Yeah,
So it's time.
that's also true. But the thing is that at that time there was not many people interested in it either. So
True.
and then
Actually, correction. Back then, there was the big three era, and there were a lot of big content creators back then, and they got a lot of views for that. Like King of Lightning, he covered all of the big three, and he got a decent amount of views for them. And then you also have people like Tekken who came in to do Bleach, and he did fantastically. And then after that, he tried to do My Hero Academia, but then it just didn't work for him in the format he wanted. And then he went on to do One Piece, and his channel is doing much better than ever. So there were a few. Oh, and Sawyer Seven Mage also did like Naruto and One Piece reviews back in the day, like weekly, and it was very successful
Yeah,
for
but
him.
we're only talking about the big ones too at the same time. But I do get what you're saying. Is that it's the same thing I'm saying. Is that like I've been on this platform long enough that I remember when Tekking did not have 100,000 subscribers. Now he's got 600,000. I
Yep.
remember a time before missed content even existed, and now he's got more subscribers than me. So there's an equilibrium there that it's like my videos are clearly either people seriously just don't like them or they're getting missed. The YouTube algorithm hates me or there's something else. And
I
Maybe
mean, the first time I saw your channel, it was via Green because when I tried to look your channel by the YouTube engine, I could not find you.
yeah,
And then
see,
when you got your channel erased, I tried. I did not even know you still had a channel or something until I find you again by Green. And then I tried to look for you and I could not find you.
yeah, so
Oh, oh, chapter drop, chapter drop,
chapter dropped. Wait, what?
chapter drop, chapter drop.
Oh
Sending
no.
you to general.
Oh no. Oh no. Here we go. Oh my god. Alright, guys. Okay, I need to get more drunk for this. I'm not wasted enough yet. We need to do a wasted stream. I haven't been drunk on a stream since like 20 fucking 18. We need to have a drunken stream. Yeah, okay, so here we goddamn go. Be sure to read the page notes at the end. Okay, I heard that. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. Boys, 1 and Tenryo, thank you so much for, jumping in and being a part of this for the last 2 hours up until the chapter dropped.
Now.
But I am going to have to X out of the whole Discord part of it so I can do this, 1v1 a little bit, as you were. And maybe we'll be jumping back into this because I'm going to keep the same format on the video stream. So maybe after the stream, or like during the stream, we'll jump back in or something like that. So stay tuned for that. But for right now, I'm going to X out of this part.
Okay. Important thing before you go.
Sure.
There are a few pages that have the kanji or the Japanese writing. It doesn't say anything. It's just them breathing and things like that. Just saying it so that you don't start thinking that you are missing stuff.
Okay, fair enough. Tenryo, anything else you want to say before we say goodbye for now?
No, it's been a pleasure actually talking with you guys over while we waited for the chapter to drop. So let me know if you want to talk again after you finish reading the chapter. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna read the chapter right now, actually.
Okay, well, I'm going to be reading the chapter on stream right now. You guys have waited long enough. And, but bathroom break first. Yeah, you guys waited this whole night. You guys waited 1 hour and 49 minutes exactly. You guys can wait another 36 seconds. So I will see you guys here shortly. And thank you very much to one, also known as Lord Vivek, and Tenryo for showing up here to keep this stream entertaining for the last 2 hours up until the chapter drops. So, all right, we're going to jump into the chapter in a few short minutes, guys. Just stay tuned. I got to change that chapter title. Goddamn. All right. How do I exit out of this? I have no idea. We'll find out, guys. We'll find out. Okay. That didn't work. Maybe this will work. There we go. That worked. Somewhat. Okay, cool. Alright. We're going to change the title to that. Save. And you guys just wait. You guys just wait. Because I'll be right back. I need to replenish, like, literally, this just dropped, guys. So, seriously, think about it. Chapter just dropped. I'm literally asking you to wait, like, 2 minutes. 2 2 goddamn minutes. Yeah, it's gonna wait 2 minutes. God damn it. I mean, seriously, what other reviewer do you know is dropping a review right now 2 minutes later after the chapter just dropped? Seriously. Who do you know? Post them here, because guess what? I'm the only one, bitches. Because I was here first. Let's go. Alright. We're going to jump right into it. Just give me, as I said, 2 minutes. Alright. We're back. We're here. And let's change the image here a little bit. Nope. There we go. And then we'll because we're back in the main deal here. I think I can change that, can't I? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna finally read the chapter. We're first gonna read the chat first, and then we're gonna read the chapter. So there we go. I imagine this chapter is gonna be amazing. Let's see. Have you ever watched Human Centipede? Samurai 8. Find us in the birds of which kids. I'm back to the. Bob Eager is in here. Hi, Bob. Haven't seen you in a while. So the only reason Chibi got so big is because it's rare in those days of anime YouTuber. It wasn't that rare. I was around. I sucked apparently. I'm Dude saying chapter is out. Dragon's Rage said, finally. Dragon's Rage said, watch chapter just be like 4 pages. That would be terrible. The one said, yeah, baby. We got 7 people in here, 6 likes. Why don't we have 7 likes? Hit that like button. And we're jumping into the chapter, ladies and gentlemen. Chapter 46. All right. So, last chapter, remember, Buddha slammed Zarafuku. So let's see. Between Buddha's legs, which is where all of us truly want to be. Props. Between Buddha's legs, we go. And we see Zarafuku on the ground, crying with his tongue out. I can't. And we see kanji on his tongue. It could be one of the 7 deadly sins. But Buddha's front kick digs right into Zarafuku's gut. Zarafuku's down for the count. God. Come on, man. We've already started, says Buddha. Zarafuku looks up. And then there's more kanji things. Foul play! Foul play! You coward! Buddha-sama? A Buddha doing a surprise attack? And then, here we go. Some Greek fuck. Like, look at the rolls in that beard. You know it's somebody from Greece. The law is harsh, but it is the law. That said, he's pretty ruthless despite being one of us 4 sages. Oh shit! Is that Jesus goddamn Christ? To the left, is that not Jesus goddamn Christ? We all talked about, like, okay, so Adam exists, so the real God exists. That means Jesus exists. Where the fuck has been Jesus? And is that Izangi? Is how do you say his name? Is Zanangi? Whatever, how you ever say his name, the creator God. What the? But who would this be? That's not Zeus. So the sages, would that be Pythagoras? Would that be Socrates? Would it be? Who the hell is that? Why don't they give title cards for these people? Let's see. He's quick to a scrap. It is Socrates! Called it! Fucking called it! Woo! Woo! Called it! And Jesus! Double called it! Double called it! Did I get the Japanese? Come on, let's go for the hat trick. I said Izangi. But he's a creator god, so that wouldn't be right. Who would he potentially be? In Japanese lore, shit. I got nothing. I got nobody. Izangi. That's all I got. But it's clearly not him, so I don't know. But Jesus of the 4 sages, he's here, the hippie himself. I got Socrates. I guess Pythagoras and Socrates. So Buddha is considered one of the 4 sages. So there's Buddha, Socrates, Jesus, and what do we get? Repay evil with evil. I cannot raise my voice in the presence of my pupils. But this has got my blood pumping, I suppose. And this, oh, she's female. It seems she's female. Confucius? I gotta look that one up, guys. I don't know that one. Confucius? Never heard of this person. Chinese, that's why. Chinese philosopher. Who was traditionally considered the paragon of Chinese sages. Fair enough. Widely considered one of the most important and influential individuals in human history, teachings his philosophy form the basis of Eastern culture. Okay. All right, that makes sense. So it's we have our Greek, we have our Buddhism. Yeah, I should have figured that it wouldn't be Japanese because we would have the European, the Middle Eastern, of course, the Chinese and the Japanese. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so the four sages. This honestly, finally, we have Jesus in the house. Hey, Zeus in the house. All right. And Socrates is here. All right, cool, cool, cool. I like the traditional look that they gave all of them. It's really cool, considering that Buddha is not traditional at all. But out of the other three sages, they look totally traditional. That's crazy. Buddha says, so you're going to fight or not? And then we still see the tongue with the kanji on it. Has that kanji changed? I'm going back. No, the kanji hasn't changed. Just cough, cough. Ick, blood. It hurts. Why? Why do I have to feel so much pain? Why? Why me? Okay, so we're getting weird. Ugh, I'm miserable. Which, I feel that. And now summoning a venom demonic sword thingy. Twitch. What's with his axe? It's like it's alive or something. Freaky. Buddha looking onwards. Ugh, ugh. Swipes. Buddha dodges. In one fell swoop. But it destroys the arena. Fire shots everywhere. Buddha just dodging easily. Huh? I thought I hit you. Well, now he's going all in. Ahem, I suppose. So, I'm guessing that this philosopher was supposed to be like eccentric or something like that because Jesus and Socrates are like looking at him like, hey, you're not supposed to be, like, you're supposed to be tranquil like the rest of us. Is like, oh yeah, I mean, yeah. So, that's interesting. Okay. I love the fact that they introduced, like, the idea of four sages being, like, from different sects, because how the hell would you have all these different, like, we got Jesus, we got Socrates, we got, Buddha. That makes sense. Really makes sense. So then, the axe of despair swipes again, but Buddha dodges again. Huh? Damn it! Buddha looking on. Then Zarafuku just attacking in a rage. But Buddha's dodging easily. Why can't I hit you? It's always like this for me. Only me. Zarafuku lets loose his fury. But Buddha, light on his feet, dodges every swing. What in the hell? You tell me he can't get a single hit in? He just keeps getting juked. Is he going to be okay? Wouldn't Bushamonten have been better? The gods themselves asked if Bushamonten would have been better. Ooh. What does this mean, guys? What does this mean? Like, seriously, what do you think that this means? Is he listening to the crowd? That's the key. If he's listening to the crowd, then that's going to trigger Zarafuku into something. But wouldn't Bishomonten been better? Why would they assume that a fusion of gods would be weaker. Like, I don't understand what that God's coming from, and maybe they won't understand what the God's coming from, but interesting. So let's see what people have to say. MC Dude said, taking time out of my homework for Shuumatsu no Valkyrie, hope it's good. Yeah, MC Dude, you're here for the long haul. One said, it is Jesus goddamn Christ. Yeah, it's Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. MC Dude said, having just there raises a lot of questions, but it's cool to see him in the stands on the human side. See, to me, it solidifies a problem that I had, because I was wondering, where the hell's the real God? Well, not the real God, the Christian God. Where the hell is Lucifer? Where the hell is the devil? Where the hell is, like, literally, where the hell is hell? Where the hell is Jesus? Where the hell is the Holy Spirit? If this is supposed to be Adam was here, Eve was here, where the hell are all these people? And now we're finally seeing Jesus in the crowd, so that's great. That honestly, it's great. Though it's reminding me of Bloody Monday way too much, because this dude is literally the epitome of what Jesus is drawn like with Bloody Monday. Because Bloody Monday did a fantastic art rendition of him. So it's really freaky for me because he was a terrorist back then trying to blow up Japan. So yeah. Sort of creepy. But anyways. Yeah. MC Dude said, blah, blah. One said, the law is harsh, but it is the law, Socrates. Yep, Socrates. Jesus is looking clean, not gonna lie. He does look clean, says one. He is looking way more clean than he's ever looked. Dragon said, yeah. One said, Confuca from China. Yeah, MC Dude said, don't know about Confuca blah, 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 blah. Design. Yeah, I'm not super a fan of it because apparently it's supposed to be like a Gandalf looking person. Tenryo said Buddha transcended to godhood, yet Jesus after death didn't. I can't be the only one that finds this hilarious. Yeah, but Jesus is technically human but part of the Holy Spirit, the Trinity, right? So Jesus would be one of the four sages but technically still God. Remember that. Is that Jesus as a person, as a personification, will always be a man. So, I'm good with it. One says, yeah. One said he was eccentric from the things I've read. I haven't read much on him, so maybe. Though Confungus is a man. He is. Wow. Yeah. One said, remember he was divided into 7 gods, the leader of which was Bishomonte, and then he got fused with the rest. I mean, yeah, but you would think that they'd be like, okay, why would they even question it? Like, yeah, he's not hitting him, but they're thinking like, oh, well, get rid of the other 6 gods out of you. I think you do better. Like, that makes no sense, like, math-wise. One said, I guess they saw Bishomonte as more fitting, since he was the god of war. He looked more foreboding, I guess. Yeah. Bob Iger said, Jesus. Literally Jesus. Caden said Jesus should be on the list. That would be weird, though. We had Adam on the list. We're good. One said, yeah, kind of born as a god already. Yeah, a little bit. All right. So we're jumping back in. So wouldn't Bushamonte have been better? So Fuku losing. I can't hit you. I can't get a single hit in. Damn it. Ugh. So much misery. He seems to be like drawing an aura towards him though. So much misery. Hey, doesn't it look sort of strange? What is that? Scary. No way. This is getting interesting, says Hermes. Am I imagining things, says Ares? Or does his axe look like it's gotten bigger? He's drawing in all the misery and foreboding it into his axe. Is he drawing the misery of the crowd too. Zeus in the house. You're not imagining things. His axe absorbs misery. The axe of despair. We're pulling it up. I don't care. We're gonna pull that shit up in this stream right the hell now because it is relevant. It was relevant last stream, but now I know I'm fucking right. I know I'm goddamn right. So, we're pulling that shit up. And what did I say that shit as? There we go. I'm keeping that shit there for the entire stream. Because that, my friends, is the axe of despair. And the axe of despair is literally what this goddamn thing is. Call it the axe of misery. Call it the axe of despair. I don't goddamn care. That shit is what Zerafuku is using. One said, yeah, kind of born as a god already. Also remember they know Bishamonto was known and famous unlike Zerafuku. Fair enough. I just said, to say his name, just say it like it would say confusion, but replace the on with us. Confucius. Confucius? 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 Confucius. I'm good with Confucius. Weird name. Caden said, Bishop Monte is probably way better at fighting and Zero is probably just raw power. Maybe. We're going to find out. So, but we're leaving the axe there because that his axe absorbs misery. So it is literally the axe of despair. You activated my Alucard. Welcome back, Lord Zeus. Absorbs misery? What do you mean by that? The more his divine weapon absorbs misery, the larger it grows, and the more destructive it becomes. Look at that beast of an axe. Its name too is Misery Cleaver. Oh, this is my first time seeing it, says Hermes, and he looks like he's got an erection. But it's quite the unconventional weapon. Slam! And Buddha dodges. Wah! Eek! And he's slamming in. Don't you think this guy's a bit too strong? Damn it! Miss! I just keep missing! Absorbs mystery, says Gull. Yes, from Zerafuku's point of view, being evaded is misery as well. That's nuts! You mean the more Buddha dodges, the stronger Zerafuku's attacks are going to get? So it would actually be to his advantage to take the first hit, honestly. He's playing on nightmare mode. I mean, technically, yeah? I mean, once again, yeah, technically he is, but Let's just see what happens. So, he keeps swiping against Buddha. Zerafuku takes aim at Zerafuku's landing spot. It's over. He's gonna... Buddha dodges, throws his breakdancing style, throws his staff in the... What the... Not bad, man. That weapon's pretty cool. He grabbed... Oh, he did a breakdancing move. Oh, God, this is going to infuriate Zerafuku. Come on. Buddha, you need to acknowledge Zerafuku. You need to acknowledge Zerafuku. I'm still saying that. I am still toting the idea that he needs to acknowledge Zerafuku. He dodged. He must have crazy good reflexes. Yeah, well, he's fucking Buddha. I mean, if he's he's Socrates and Jesus, I mean, yeah. Look closely, Gull. Pay attention to his movements. Did you notice anything? Huh? He's moving before his opponent attacks. He's using ultra fucking instinct. He's not dodging. The attacks are going where he's already been. At least that's what it looks like. Yes, Buddha-sama already knows Zerafuku's attack, so ultra instinct. Already knows? You mean like the thing that Kojiro-san did? Which is true, he did do that. No, Kojiro's technique was the ultimate prediction of Poseidon's move. Which is what he's doing. Honed by ages of experience and training. Buddha-sama's technique is something different altogether. One could call it future vision. So he's using observation hockey. Okay. So Buddha has observation hockey. Fair enough. Or ultra instinct. Whichever. Yes, it is a state which only the enlightened one can attain. Look at his eyes. Pure enlightenment. Eighth consciousness. Which is something used in Prince of Tennis, which was amazing. The eighth consciousness. So, yeah, I buy this. The idea of the eighth consciousness. I've learned about that. Yeah. I don't know much about Buddhism, but I know about the eighth consciousness, guys. So, yeah, this fight's over. It's like Adam's eyes, future sight. Once again, we get another OP eye power. Now, why do I feel like the eye power is going to somehow be broken? Because I still have an idea that Zerafuku will use somehow the misery and transform it back to him. Or he'll use one of the 7 deadly sins, like, because he's got the sins on his beads and stuff. This, I don't feel like it's going to be a one-shot like everybody thinks. Everybody says Buddha's going to win. And I'm not saying Buddha's going to lose. But I feel like Buddha is too overpowered here. I feel like we're in for a run for our money. So Zerafuku says, "What the hell is going on? I had you there, and you've just been dodging this whole time. You're screwing with me." Then Buddha goes in for it, slams him in the neck, boom, chin smack. I'll make a move when I want to make a move. Bam. He's cocky like Adam was. Slam with the axe. Wow, that's way too cool. Well, even though I called it future vision, it seems you can only see but a moment ahead. Brunhild's gonna bring up because she remembers Adam. Once again, Adam could see everything, but he had a limit. Buddha has a limit. Just wait. But it's still cool. I'd say it's the coolest ability of them all, says Gaul. Adam is rolling over in his grave. Alright, you got this, Buddha, says Gaul, Brunhild looking on. She looks worried. My jaw hurts and I can't hear you at all. Why? Why is this happening? Such a pain. Sloth says, must kill the Armstrong General. What a pain. You know? Why is this happening? Sorry? I kind of snuck a peek. Like, you could see my attacks. Then, even back then. Cheater. That's cheating! And he's not wrong, it is cheating. Damn it! And he continues to slash, and Buddha is dodging still. Zerafuka launches into a frenzied rush, but he can't hit even open air. Bam! Buddha keeps hitting him. Now that's Buddha for you. Attaboy Buddha-sama. Now all is void when he steps into the ring. He's overpowering him. Against the Enlightened One, all attacks are made null. So now we have the three of the four sages. He's putting on quite the show. Just like a boxer, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, I suppose. Against the cheap power, future vision. Which, I mean, once again, Zerafuku's not wrong calling it a cheat power. It is cheating. If, like, in a world like One Piece where everybody can potentially gain observation hockey, it's fair game. But if you can't gain observation hockey, then it's not very fucking fair, is it? So now we're into an Adam situation where only somebody who can cheat out the cheat. Once again, I don't believe this is going to be a one-sided battle. I always said that. I still think Buddha has the potential to win, but I always said it was a 50-50 fight. So let's see what happens here on the next page. Against the cheat power future vision. The difference in power between the two was clear. Okay? Or so everyone thought. However, I can't do anything right. Even back then, I saved them. But nobody thanked me for it. I'm miserable. I'm jealous of that human. Ugh, I'm miserable. Shit, 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 shit. Shit, 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 shit. It's always the same. Only me. Only I am miserable. God damn it! The first was to notice something amiss. Get it together. Come on. Is he still representing us? It's already over. Was none other than Buddha. Wow. Isn't that kind of cheating? Buddha. Looking for the first time. Scared and called something cheating. Goal. Buddha-sama, stop moving. What did he see in his future sight? I'm miserable. So miserable. The worst I've ever felt. I'm in the pits of... And he brings it down. What? What in the... Misery. Those axes are the size of goddamn buildings. What the fuck? What the fuck am I looking at, ladies and gentlemen? What the fuck am I looking at? God damn. Let's check the chat really quick before we continue on with the chapter. Jeez. Confucius. Confucius. Sure. Yeah, like that. Confucius. Confucius. I'm good with that. Like that. Bob Iger said, "What does the human fight each other? I mean, we already seen God versus God. True enough." MC Dude said, "I'm anticipating Trader Quinn Shin." I don't see another traitor, MC Dude, but that's just me. One said, "I can see Rasputin change sides." I do see that, not gonna lie. Yeah, I can see that. But what's in it for him, really? One said precognition like Yuha, basically. No, more like observation hockey, really. One said that, but the super mega weak compared to Yuha precognition. Yeah, once again, observation hockey. One said Adam can't see into the future, but perfectly follow the movements of the opponent. Yeah, exactly. So it's a weaker version of, well, not necessarily weaker, just a different idea between the eyes. So page 40, guys, of 52. Let's get into it. We're jumping through. Here comes the axe hammer. It looks like a goddamn hammer from here, and the blade of hell descends. Even Brunhild looks shocked, saying, "I don't think he's going to be able to dodge Caesar's skull." "That's why he stopped moving," says Brunhild. "When an ability that can see a moment into the future. This is an absolute inevitable future which one cannot outmaneuver within that moment. There's nothing left but the impending sense of hopelessness." And Buddha goes, smiling, "Turn about 6 realms." What? He uses some crazy ability out of the turn. The thing from Far Cry, the Buddha, goddamn, I forget what it's called, the shrine thingy on top of the pole, and it releases a bunch of scriptures, and Zerafuku's still attacking, slams into the ground. Everybody's shocked, even the sages, even Jesus is shocked. Odin is not shocked, though. Odin does not get shocked. Zerafuku says divine punishment. And then, 6 realms. Staff, 4th realm. A sword realm. 11-face cannon. What the... He summoned a great shield to block the axe. I mean, he looks like a badass. But what the goddamn hell? Zerafuku's like, what? Like, it's the length of the goddamn arena. And he's like, don't worry. I'll help you cope with your puberty. Buddha! Oh my shit. Buddha pulling out some bullshit right now, but I mean, so is Zerafuku, so I think it's fair game. But why don't we read the TL notes just to please stop cheering for Buddha goal. Yeah, really though. The law is harsh, but it is the law. Seems to be misinterpretation to Socrates. The closest equivalent I could find to this quote is the Latin "dura lex sed lex," which was first used by some German dude in the Middle Ages. If I had to guess, the combination of being the classic language to Socrates' similar views on the law, being, well, actually, Socrates, you didn't need to go that deep. Socrates is famously known for saying that the law is the law. Not so much the law is harsh, but it is the law. More so that the law is the law. He is famously quoted to have said the law is the law. In reference to follow the law. Repay evil with evil. Seems to be a deliberate parody. The original quote is to repay good with good and repay evil with justice. Sure. The Four Sages. Now, this is interesting. Where did they get the Four Sages from? A group of four influential philosophers, which argues why is, Virgil not there, since he led Dante to the Inferno. Why would Virgil not be there? Interesting. A group of four influential philosophers in Chinese and Japanese thought. Originally thought it was used for groups of Buddhist and Confucian teachers, but the Meiji era philosopher Inoue Enryo introduced the concept of the four sages of the world. Buddha, Socrates, and Kante. Later, Kante was replaced with Jesus, possibly under the influence of the German philosopher Karl Jaspers. Okay, so they replaced it with the more popular version. Alright, fair enough. Because once again, Christianity is the newest religion, guys, so it truly is like, sorry to insult anybody, but Christianity is the newest religion amongst all known religions in the world. So, recognize like Scientology, what have you, blah, blah, blah. But real religions. And so you're gonna have like the replacement value. I mean, God is Zeus, Halo's from Egypt, Sunday from the pagans, Misery Cleaver. There's a pun here in Japanese. The original name of Zerafuku's axe is Red Fuko, which sounds the same as misfortune, happiness, misery, Red Fuko. Actor is the word for Ayo, one line of the hexagrams found. Okay, that's a little too much for me to read. Basically, Misery Cleaver is clever. Eighth consciousness. We already know about that, which is Ala Yavanjana, which is in Sanskrit, and also known as the storehouse of consciousness, the eighth consciousness, which is you have awareness of all things. It's the ultimate enlightenment. The eighth consciousness is what everybody wants to reach. We already knew that. The six realms. Six paths of reincarnation in Buddhism. The hell realm, the hungry ghost realm, the animal realm, the Azure realm, the human realm, and the divine realm. We already knew that. So, 11-faced Kanon. I don't know this one. In some schools of Buddhism, like the Tendai school, it is believed that certain particular forms of something, also called Kanon in Japan, can help Buddhists overcome the hindrances of the six realms. former becomes the Azure realm, the 11-faced form, which watches over the 10 worlds of Buddhism. Interesting. So, basically, that's the chapter. Yeah. Well, that was interesting. I mean, what a weird chapter, really. I mean, we got a lot of information. We learned a lot about Buddhism from the author notes. But honestly, what did you guys think of this chapter? Like, I'm like, why did people think this was a great chapter? Like, this was a they fight chapter. In all honesty, was it epic? Yeah, but every chapter of Record of Ragnarok is epic. But was this one great? You know? This was a they fight chapter. It's honestly little TMI here, guys. But it's honestly like the same way I describe my sex life with my wife. I'm like, our average sex is great sex. So when we have not great sex, that's still like 7 out of 10 sex. So, as far as this chapter goes, it's sort of the same deal. It's like, it's Record of Ragnarok. It's already great. It's already great sex. But is this chapter really 10 out of 10? No, it's not. It's an okay chapter. They fight. Nah. 6, 7 out of 10 at best, guys. Sorry. I don't see any reason to give it higher praise than that, because otherwise we have to go into the realm of 11 out of 10, 12 out of 10, 13 out of 10, and I just don't want to do that. This is a solid 6, 7 out of 10 chapter at best. It's an average chapter. It's a 6 out of 10 chapter. They fight. That's all the chapter brought us. Honestly, the author notes brought us more than the goddamn chapter did. Because, yeah, the fights can be cool when they're at their conclusion. But, for me, it's just like, how do I rank, think about it this way, guys. If a 10 out of 10, comparable, within series, think about it, within series, is this fight really as good as Adam versus Zeus? Is this fight really as good as Heracles versus Jack? Then you can't rate it 9 and 10 out of 10. You certainly can't rate it a 10. You can't rate it a 9. At most, you could rate it an 8, and I think that's generous. So, I mean, because you're telling me that this chapter is just as good as the reveal chapter. The reveal chapter was a 10. You tell me that this is really, backstory chapters or like, what are we doing here? They fought. They fight. Nothing really happened. Think about it. They fight. What happened in this chapter? 50 pages of they fight. Not a bad fight, but it was a kick, a punch. It was literally 30 pages of Buddha dodging. And then 1 page of him blocking. That's what happened. I love Shuumatsu no Valkyrie, guys. I love Record of Ragnarok. But come on. Meet me halfway here. It's not a 9 out of 10. It's not an 8 out of 10. It's a 6 at best. The chapter was he dodged. He has so we learned that Buddha has observation haki. He dodges and he blocks. End of chapter. Impressive artwork does not mean, by that logic, One Punch Man is 10 out of 10 every fucking week. Boichi, Dr. Stone is 10 out of 10 every fucking week. Because of great art. That doesn't make a great chapter, guys. It's a factor, but it does not make a great chapter. Now let's see what all you heathens have to say. Yeah, so let's Bob Iger said confuse. Yeah, you're gonna confuse me now. Yeah, literally. Caden said Buddha is the end all to be all. Yeah, Buddha is amazing. MC Dude said, yeah, the U in the foo is a U sound. I mean, once again, I'll try, guys, but you guys all confuse me, and by the time I have to say the name again, I will forget it. So, Joseph's in here. Sorry, man. Just gotta do a King Kong. So I can answer some goddamn texts. Joseph said it's called a prayer wheel. Yeah, a prayer wheel, that's it. But I know the Japanese term for it. What the fuck is that shit called? I used to know the Japanese term for the prayer wheel. Anyways, no, I used to know it. No disrespect. But yeah. One said, good thing Buddha brought his divine weapon. Absolutely. One said the 6 realms are actually a thing on his mythology. I know that. Joseph said, also with the Buddha being the one who attained enlightenment, I was expecting something like Ultra Instinct Light, which he literally has. He's basically awakened observation Aki. Caden said, Zero is going through his emo gothic phase, apparently. Bobby Gift says, Jesus can resurrect all dead fighter. Maybe we can resurrect Heracles and Adam back. I would not like that. No, because Adam and Heracles had their story, and if their story is messed up by resurrection, that would be so shit. Like, their story is the fact that they died. Adam won the fight, so did Heracles. The losers won the fight. That's the point. Is that Zeus acknowledged that he lost to Adam. Jack acknowledged he lost to Heracles. That's the point of their death. With their deaths being meaningless, with them coming back, it nullifies Jack and Zeus's character development. So that's bad, in my opinion. MC Dude said this chapter felt like more of the same. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. MC Dude said, which isn't bad in the long run. It'll be fine on the rereads regardless. Yeah, once again, not a bad chapter, but how do you rank this? Like, if a 10 out of 10 chapter is like backstory chapters, right? Like great chapters. 9 out of 10 are finishing fights. 8 out of 10 are like Zeus and Heracles, Jack, Adam. Then you can't rank this slugfest of 2 characters that are like, okay, they're fine, but they're not Adam, Zeus. How could you rank them above a 7? How? Like, do you rank every single Adam and Zeus chapter and every single Herc versus... Like, literally, this is Raiden versus Shiva slugfest. I rank that like a 6. 5 or 6. Like, how would you rank this chapter above a 7 is beyond me. It's not. Because Buddha's reveal as a turncoat, Zeus versus Adam, Heracles versus Jack, those are all 8 to 10 chapters. How do you put this chapter, which is basically just they fight, in that league? How do you do that? I don't get it. I don't. Don't understand it. MC said, which isn't a bad thing in the long run. It'll be fine in the rereads, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it will, but once again, I think people are going to praise this chapter way too high because Buddha's winning. MC says, makes us wish we got more now. Yeah, like, seriously, like, this was a they fight. This was Raiden versus Shiva. They fought. They threw a few punches. Who cares? Honestly. Bob Eager, 8.5 out of 10. Fucking no. 7 out of 10 at best. Caden, 8 out of 10. No. No. Joseph saying, it's your opinion. No one has the right to change it, but we can all respect each other's opinions. I respect your opinion. I just don't know what the fuck do you rank like the Buddha being a turncoat chapter, a 12 out of 10? Because now we're outside of the 10 out of 10 bracket. You know, like, you can't rate this an 8 or an 8.5 and then say that the Buddha chapter turncoat was only a 10. That's 1 point above? Really? No, it's not. It's millennial points above. That's what I'm talking about. You can't rank the Heracles sacrificed himself for Jack chapter. You can't have the Adam died chapter. You can't have the Brunhild cried for Heracles chapter. You can't have the Buddha turning turncoat chapter. You can't rank these chapters in the same league as a they fucking fight chapter. You can't put them in the same tier. That's bullshit, and I don't agree with that. Like, we can respect other opinions, but that's like, yeah, I can respect other people's opinions, but that's like saying that the Longling arc, or whatever the fuck you call it, I don't even know what to call it, the Longrang arc of One Piece is just as good as Marineford. Well, that's just wrong. It's better than Alabasta. No. It's better than Enies Lobby. No. Like, these are wrong statements. And if you think otherwise, I'm sorry, you don't know good writing. It's the same people that tell me that Game of Thrones is better than Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry, you're wrong. I mean, I mean, there's a certain threshold. That's what I'm talking about. There's a threshold to an opinion. There's a threshold. It's like someone comes up to me and goes, Leonardo da Vinci couldn't paint. And I go, well, no, you don't have to like his paintings, but the man could paint. That's not a question. The man could paint. Like, no, he couldn't paint more shit. Well, no, you're fucking wrong. No, it's my opinion. It's like, well, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. No, Leonardo da Vinci could fucking paint. He's revered around the world. I mean, what do you mean he can't paint? The man can paint. Like, there's a certain threshold between opinion and stupidity, as far as I'm concerned. There is a threshold of opinion. Like, you want to say this chapter is a 10 out of 10? I'll be like, okay, I disagree. But we both like the chapter. I say it's a 7. You say it's a 10. But for me to go, this is the worst chapter that ever fucking happened to manga history. Terribly drawn. Never should have been produced. I don't know why they didn't cancel the series after this chapter. Now that's what I'm talking about, a threshold. At that point, you'd be like, yeah, no. Yeah, no. You're entitled to your opinion, but you're fucking wrong. Is what you would all say to me. And you would be justified in saying so. As far as I'm concerned. Let's see. Bob Gear said, "Geez, no, we already went through that. 8.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10, which once again, no, guys, 7 at best." Caden said, "Buddha is probably not going to kill Zero because he sees him as a kid hitting puberty." True. He's probably going to try to convince Zero to surrender and fight, so he doesn't want to kill him, which is what I've been saying, Caden. Caden, you're talking about theories, my man. I have been saying that this entire time. I've been saying that Buddha is basically gonna eventually Zero's gonna break down and Buddha's gonna remember who he is and he's gonna apologize or something like that. It's gonna be a weird victory. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be unexpected. MC Dude said, "I don't think anyone's surrendering. I think Zerafuku, I can see him surrendering." MC Dude said, "I think we're going to continue seeing things escalate and maybe see why Buddha seems to be holding back." Which is true, yeah. But now he seems to be sort of going all out with this new Six Realms thing. I think this is Buddha full power here. Bob Eager said, "Zerafuku, the failed Jesus." Which is so sad. He's the failed Buddha. He's the failed Jesus. He's a failed four sages. He should have been the fifth sage. But he failed. But not because of his own fault. It's not his fault. Caden said, "I never watched Game of Thrones, but I love Lord of the Rings." There you go. Don't worry. Don't watch Game of Thrones. Lord of the Rings is the best thing ever made. So you're fine. Trust me, you're fine. You don't need to see Game of Thrones. Lord of the Rings is a classic. Game of Thrones is a more realistic story with a few aspects of magic and mystical sprinkle into it. Realistic as in incest and infighting? Does that make a story more realistic? Because, I mean, one, you're not wrong that Game of Thrones is more realistic a story, but realistic how? As in, kings get fat, incest happens, and people are dicks? Like in Lord of the Rings, there are plenty of dicks. It's just shown in a better way. One said that's what happened on those times. I mean, yeah, and it happened in Lord of the Rings. Remember, Aragorn and Arwen are technically incest. Want to look at it that way. Sorry, checking the phone, guys. Yeah. One said more politically driven, assassinations, etc., which did happen in Lord of the Rings. And honestly, I like the fact that it wasn't politically driven, which it still was. Remember Denethor? I mean, it was still politically driven, just not hampering on that fact. It was like, he's the real king. Step the fuck back, bitch. And it worked. And I don't see why it wouldn't have worked. Honestly, Game of Thrones could have been solved so much easier if the Starks had done that 10 years before the story. Literally, before Robert Baratheon took control, like, seriously, Game of Thrones should have ended 5 years before the story started. But the characters were stupid. So don't tell me that Lord of the Rings is like, oh, well, it's not as political as Game of Thrones. Yeah, because they weren't a bunch of fucking morons who waited too long. And they did have assassinations. And not a good versus evil, and more of a everyone is great and doing their own things. Exactly. I will admit that point. Game of Thrones is more of a everybody is in a gray area, but it's like, yeah, but we're telling a children's fairy tale at Lord of the Rings. Game of Thrones is trying to be like the dark Lord of the Rings, and it came up short. Joseph said, I heard a theory. Brunhild is going to die and Gol will partner up with whoever's fighting last. What do you think? I think that Brunhild is going to partner up with Leonidas. And Gol is going to actually be the last surviving Valkyrie sister. She's not actually going to have to partner up with anybody. Joseph also said, I also actually like Gol. I don't mind her. And kind of see why people don't like her. I mean, she's there as the commentary. She's there like Loki to be part of a reader sort of idea. So to hate on her is just silly. And same time, I don't see her going through a lot of character development. Exactly, like she's gonna be the survivor. I see her as the survivor. One said, what do you mean that the Starks did not act 10 years earlier? Had they picked up the whole King of the North thing long before, nothing would have happened. Joffrey, the whole shit. The Red Wedding. The Lannisters couldn't have been in power because remember that Ned Stark worked alongside the Baratheons. The Lannisters were a secondary thing. Once they overthrew the Targaryens, they could have sat side by side on the throne. King in the North, King in the South. It would have worked. But no, Ned Stark and all that shit, yeah. Kane said, why isn't Jesus on the list? You can replace Rasputin or Tesla for Jesus. What? No, Jesus is boring. Jesus is the most boring character in the face of the earth, man. Rasputin, Tesla, literally, replace one of the worst, replace the Chinese emperor, replace that fucking Russian sniper, replace them. Rasputin is the most interesting character on the goddamn list, and I'm excited to see what they do with him. And Tesla? Are you kidding me? Caden, you got your wires crossed, man. Like, I know you're not an electrician, but I'm telling you, the black wire goes to the black wire, and the red wire goes to the red wire, and then you get DC energy through that battery, my friend. Like, seriously, goddamn. One said, Robert was not the type to let things go. Also, Ned was not really politically driven, considering he was never supposed to be leader and just a follower. Yeah, but my point is that he should have been, and that would have solved everything, is my point. I'm not saying it's not within their characters. I'm saying that they literally had an out and they failed. Had they established King in the North, King in the South back 10 years ago, none of this shit would have happened. And the Lannisters wouldn't have been in power, which the Lannisters caused half of the problems. Kane said in Lord of the Rings they could have used the giant ass eagles to fly. No, Caden, no, they couldn't have. And I'll tell you why. In the Council of Elrond, let me school you on Lord of the Rings, my friend. You're not wrong. Could have given the ring to the Eagles. Or they could have given the ring to Tom Bombadil. Or Gandalf. Or Elrond. Why didn't they? Power. Corruption. It was wrong. They can't do it. They even thought, in the books, they thought about throwing the ring into the sea. Or shipping it to Valinor. Where Elrond even said they won't accept it. This is Earth's problem. So they needed to deal with it. Taking the Eagles was not only dangerous, But once again, the eagles are basically angels, like Maya spirits, on Middle Earth. They're not meant to directly interfere or solve the problems. They're not meant. If you have a guardian angel, think Angels in the Outfield. You ever seen that movie from the 90s? Christopher Lloyd, Danny Glover. Angels are not meant to interfere directly. They're meant to guide, help, do whatever they can to aid the main cast, but never directly be the one to fight the main battle. Aragorn needs to become king without Gandalf. Frodo needs to take the ring to Mount Doom without Gandalf. The eagles are Maya spirits. That's established. They cannot, they're angels. From, like, if you want to establish a biblical thing. They are not allowed to interfere. Gandalf can call upon them because Gandalf is a Maya spirit. And when he deems it's okay, it's okay. But even Gandalf himself says that even if you took me or Glorfindel and you stormed the Dark Tower, that's not an answer. That's wrong. We can't do that because we are not of this world anymore. We don't belong here. That's not our fight. It's the time of men and hobbits and dwarves. It's not the time of angels and elves. It's the time of men and hobbits. It's their time to make their choice. If we give them the easy answer, they could have given the ring to Tom Bombadil. They could have thrown it into the sea. There was a million fucking answers. It was just wrong. I fucking hate when people tell me, oh, they could have used the eagles. No, they fucking couldn't have. The eagles are not an easy way out. The eagles are angels. You don't just call on them. Regardless what is seen in the movies, in the books, it doesn't work that way. They're Maya spirits. They don't own to beck and call, and they also are there for a purpose. Their purpose is not to deal with the problems of the earth. They can help, they can assist, but they can't directly solve the problem. And the eagles flying the ring to Mordor, regardless of all the other reasons that other people brought up in theories with Nazgul and fucking fire and brimstone and whatever, the eagles directly taking a ring and dropping into Mount Doom seems pretty direct to me. So they weren't allowed to do it. God himself, Eru, said no. So they weren't allowed. One said, one said, yeah, Cersei, to be more accurate, yeah, Cersei was a bitch. One said, don't think Ulmon would have appreciated having that on his territory. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. And one with the message retracted. Okay, so we went through that whole spiel and nobody commented on my potential inaccuracies on Lord of the Rings, but don't try to be potential inaccuracies on Lord of the Rings. I grew up on that shit and I have every book. Unlike all of you plebs, I actually own and read the Silmarillion and Unfinished Tales and Barian and Luthien and Tom Bombadil. I own it. I read it all. So, yeah. I feel like I've plus 1.5. Anyways. Oh, we only got 4 people in here, though. I mean, it has been 3 hours. We did read the chapter. One says, Tywin said, I don't mistrust you because you're a woman. I mistrust you because you are not as smart as you think you are. And I say unto you, I drink and I know things. Shots fired, my friend. But yeah, I feel like this chat and this stream is ending. 3 hours in. We actually did read the chapter, so that's fantastic. Likely this won't get as many views as I wanted to, which is stupid because I feel like it should get a lot of views considering I was here waiting for the chapter, I got to the chapter, etc., etc. So that's so sad. But I'm hoping for 200 views. 200 views on this stream and I'll be pretty happy. I'll be pretty happy with 200 views. So if you guys could promote it to your friends, your colleagues, whatever, 200 views, I'll be really happy, and then we can get ourselves to another great stream for chapter 47. That'd be really great. Caden said it would have been cool to have Gandalf in the tournament or Dumbledore. I mean, yeah, but that's so unrealistic. That would have been stupid because first off, Gandalf will win, and second off, yeah, no. I mean Merlin, like the original wizard sort of idea. Then I could see it. I always wanted King Arthur to join, but I think that they wanted to get away from the Fate series a little bit. I once said, God, please, no stuff from season 5 onwards. Yeah. No, I have a mug, unlike this beautiful Dragon Ball Z mug. I have a, which is a pint glass, actually, not a mug. But I do have a mug that says I drink and I know things. Game of Thrones, Tywin Lannister. So I was like, there you go. That being said, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I don't think we're going to chat to anybody tonight. I'm feeling pretty tired. You know. Yeah, I can feel it. I'm slouching in my chair. I'm not as active and hand wavy as I usually am, so I'm feeling pretty tired. So, possibly... Nope, not drunk. Okay. I was gonna question my sobriety for a moment, but yeah, no, not drunk. Not quite drunk quite yet. So, but yeah, that does not mean we're not gonna end the stream. I just, yeah, I'm just feeling pretty tired. I think I'm gonna go to bed. So, like, comment, and subscribe. As always, it is 2 a.m. on a goddamn Wednesday, and I do have to wake up before 9. So, you know, gotta wake up in like a few hours. 2 till 7 hours. Yeah, by the time I go to bed, it'll be 3. So yeah, like I mean, if I go to bed now, get up in 6 hours. Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. As always, it's always very much appreciated. And I hope you enjoyed Shuumatsu no Valkyrie Chapter 46 live reaction. I hope you enjoyed waiting for it with me, your host Griever, as always. Ironically, this is a super long stream, but the chapter reaction was only a small portion of it. So, But anyways, thanks guys. See you next time. Peace out. Oh, drink responsibly. Yeah. One of those things. One of those infomercial messages from the 90s. Nobody's good at everything. but everybody's good at something. What's your thing?